And advocacy groups' attempt to put the brakes on redevelopment at Ontario Place has failed at the province's Superior Court of Justice. Ali Chiasson joins us now from Ontario Place with the update. Ali.
Dwight, this is a win for the province. An injunction to force an environmental assessment on the West Island of Ontario Place was quashed by a panel of judges. The injunction was brought forth by Ontario Place for All. That is an advocacy organization that wants to keep Ontario Place public and a part of the land, almost like a nature sanctuary. They have fought the province every step along the way here, and this injunction was just the latest step against the province's plans to build that mega spa. So with the construction that you're probably looking at right now, that tells you that that injunction didn't work and the construction plans are moving full steam ahead. And that's actually because of some savvy politicking that happened back in the fall. Right after Ontario Place for All filed this injunction, the province passed a law that would exempt them from needing an environmental assessment such as this. So we spoke with Norm DePasquale. He is the head of Ontario Place for All for reaction on this ruling and a little bit more on where they go from here.
I mean, we're really disappointed that the court decided to quash our action. It was based on the Ontario government introducing a bill, maybe a week or two after our legal action that stripped all rights and protections from Ontario Place, which we feel is extremely undemocratic and sets a terrible precedent for the future of our Ontario public institutions.
So I want to get a sense of where maybe the fight goes from here.
Yeah, so there's another lawsuit from a different group called Ontario Place Protectors who are really rightfully challenging that bill, which, they've said it's against the public interest and is unconstitutional, and I would tend to agree with that. So there's that action that's going to the courts, and then there's an Auditor General report coming out at some point this year, which we hope will shine a light on the inner, the opaque Ontario Place deals, the same way that it shone a light on the Greenbelt, which, led the Ford government to reverse course. I'd also add that it looks like we might get an early election, and this might be a time for Ontario voters to stand up and say enough with the taxpayer boondoggles. I mean, the Ford government got a bad Auditor General report there. It shone a light on all the opaque stuff going on around the Greenbelt, and we hope that the same thing will happen in Ontario Place and that the government will reverse course when faced with the scandal the same way they did at the Greenbelt.
So the province has done its own environmental assessments on the Ontario Place property, but not so much on the West Island, which is what this injunction was trying to force. But as we've learned, and as we can see from the construction happening, the construction is still going forward as planned. Dwight.
So, Ali, have you gotten a reaction from the province yet?
So the province just reiterates that they have actually done, they've estimated about 40 different environmental assessments on the property. They said that should suffice it. And they also say that they've consulted all of the right people in coming up with the blueprints. And they also say they have scaled back some of the footprint plan for the Ontario Place site. They have included more public space and some more park space as well for people to enjoy. So as far as they're concerned, they've already dotted all of the I's and crossed all the T's, and full steam ahead for them. Dwight.
Thank you, Ali.